So how does sound heal you? Well, you know how noise-canceling headphones literally cancel sound frequencies so you can't hear them? And similar to this concept is how sound frequencies cancel the measurable frequencies of illness in the body. Cancer is measurable at the level of frequency. Lyme disease is measurable at the level of frequency. Viruses are measurable at the level of frequency, and so on. Illnesses are definable scientifically based on the frequency that they emit. And just like noise-canceling headphones, these frequencies can also be canceled using opposing sound frequencies. So, if you can find the right sound frequency that serves to cancel out another sound frequency, you literally cancel the illness or ailment in your body over time. That's how sound healing works. By the way, I'm Holly, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Holly's Healing Hub. I'm really glad you're here, and I so appreciate you tuning in today. And okay, so when I was really sick for many years, starting when I was 43, and doctors had no idea how to help me because some of you probably understand there are many illnesses that pretty much stump the medical world, right? And for me, Lyme disease did and still does not fit into an easily curable category. And so it forced me to heal myself, to figure it out on my own, which seemed impossible until I started looking deeper into what else exists that can heal people. And after thousands of trial and error, pills, herbs, everything under the sun for me, the only thing that seemed to penetrate this illness was energetic frequency technology, which is sound and light frequency, which I'll get to the light part on another day, but today we'll talk about sound frequency healing. And so the sound technology that cancels out the frequency of specific illnesses was originally developed by a man named RIFE a half a century ago to cure disease. He was very successful at curing many, many ailments, and RIFE technology is still used today. But instead of having to buy a RIFE machine, which is kind of old school, but some people still do it, there are countless frequencies on YouTube that digitally reproduce the sound from the machine, as well as all kinds of other new and kind of mind-blowing sound technologies that exist, and they're all free on YouTube. And of course, I'll make sure to leave all the YouTube channels and websites in the description on this posting. And once you start clicking on these sites, you'll have a bunch of other sites popping up. But some of these sites claim to cure all of your ills, but understand that all sounds are not alike, they're not all authentic. Some of them are really pretty to listen to, but we're not talking about ocean breezes and crystal bowls today. I mean, we love that, and it's amazing for meditation and well-being, but that's not what we're talking about today. These healing tones sound like weird ringing in your ears or kind of like a feedback on a microphone or something. They vary a lot, but we are definitely not talking about pretty meditative music. If you're seeking healing for ailments, you need to be willing to sit with odd noises in your ears a few times a day, okay? And the sites that I will list for you on my description below are the ones that are tried and true by me. And so when you start listening to these sounds, know that you can and should listen to them, like I said, a few times a day, up to a month or two or more, depending on the ailment. You know, long-term health requires a long-term commitment. People sometimes want a quick fix, actually probably more often than not they want a quick fix, but they come with side effects, or maybe they just don't work, or maybe they're just too good to be true sometimes. And yet with sound frequency, slow and steady wins the race in this game of healing. So just know that going in. And you guys, they really do work. So, okay, story time, ready? So when I was ill, really ill, I was listening to a couple different sounds for clearing Lyme disease. And sorry if this might be too much information here, but the sounds would literally make me vomit. And my family would just be sitting there in the same room, completely unaffected by the sounds, while I was clearly being affected by the sounds. And it became so clear to my husband, who was pretty skeptical at first, that yes, those sounds were really affecting what was going on in my body. The sounds were so intense, actually, for me, because it was working to clear the disease. It was moving the toxin in my system, which caused all kinds of nausea. Seriously, I could only listen to these sounds for 15 minutes every couple days at first because the nausea was so intense. When the sounds were on, I'd be nauseous and wanting to throw up. And if the sounds were off, I was fine. Well, not fine, I was really sick, but nothing was happening. But this experience made me a true believer in the power of sounds. Truly unbelievable to me. And then after a few months, I wasn't having bad reactions. And in your case, RIFE sound frequencies just make you feel better and not worse. In the case of most people, you'll just feel better right away, not worse. Adverse reactions are less common, but for me, I was in kind of a state, right? So, but I still listen to sounds for everything that comes up, whether it's a headache, indigestion. So the quickest healing I ever had with RIFE sounds was for a finger burn. It was a RIFE sound that said burns. It's like, okay, listen to this weird sound. And honestly, it was just an hour or so, and the intense burning pain that would normally last for hours was gone. It's really kind of like magic with RIFE sounds. I just can't sing their praises enough. Truly, I'm such a fan. Sometimes it's like, do I listen to Stevie Wonder or do I listen to sound frequencies? I'm kind of a fangirl of both. And also just one more shout out to another current expert in the field, a lady named Sherry Edwards. She's out of Iowa and has an amazing website called Sound Health Options. She's been a pioneer in the science of vocal mapping, where they take a sample of your vocal tone and they run it through a diagnostic machine, which is surprisingly accurate, especially diagnosing mystery illnesses and then coming up with a tailored sound frequency schedule to mitigate whatever your ailment is. It's mind-blowing stuff. Check her out. I'll put her info in the description as well. And you know, I would have never known this stuff was out there if I didn't have middle school kids at the time that needed a mom. I would do anything for my kids. I would have sold my soul to find a cure for what was wrong with me, right? It's a new level of demoralizing, missing your kids' concerts, parent-teacher conferences, games, things like that, year after year. I reached a point where I had stumped every Stanford, UCLA medical doctor and every local doctor, of course, and it just wasn't okay anymore. But sound frequencies started turning me around, and I found hope in energy medicine. And I know it's going to be standard within a few decades. I really just know this in my heart. But honestly, I feel so blessed and grateful to have discovered it before it becomes mainstream, so I can help pave the road for people who have doctor-defying illnesses like I had, that many people have now. I mean, how many people are walking around not knowing what to do and not knowing what's wrong with them? Way too many people are being misdiagnosed or gaslit by their doctors or just plain dismissed because their illnesses don't fit into a tidy, nice little Western medicine box. And this is why I'm here sharing these ideas with you on this channel, because I feel it's time that we expand and refine our own ability to heal ourselves. I want to instill the confidence in you to start looking inward and start seeing yourself as your own physician and your own healer. I'm here doing this 1001 Ways to Heal series for this very reason. And this includes a deep spiritual dive into learning how to develop a healer's mindset, activating the power grid that is you and that can affect every cell in your body, but also including on this channel tangible physical ideas for helping yourself that's outside of this Western medical box. And so after this video, when you go listen to the RIFE sounds for whatever you need healing with or for, you might just wonder, you know, how do I know it's working? Well, first of all, just trust that over time it will. These sounds really will step forward in your healing game because you will feel different when you hear them being played. You have to tune into the subtle cues that your body's giving you. And for me, I know a sound is better when, you know, better than another one. When I listen to it, my body will kind of feel like it's releasing, almost like I'm taking like a, you know, kind of like a sigh. It's like, thank you. It's kind of, this sound feels really good. It's like a big sigh from your body. And those are the subtle feelings that aren't hard to tune into if you just quietly listen to what your body is doing. I had so many things wrong with me, and I've played so many sounds in the hundreds for sure. And so I just have a feel for what works when I hear a sound. It's kind of like a yes or a no. Your body will just tell you. And if you're not sure, just keep listening to them and see if your body begins to improve. You usually can find 2 or 3 different sounds for each ailment depending on which website you choose, so you'll be able to discern which one feels better. Also, some of these sites say to only listen to the sounds a couple times a day, but except when I was really ill in the beginning and they made me nauseous, I can listen to the sounds day and night and it doesn't do any harm for sure. So don't be afraid to listen on a loop at nighttime or anything like that. The more you really dive in, the more you can allow the sounds to really work for you. So I really hope you try sound frequency healing for yourself. You just kind of have to jump into the mindset that sound technology is really there to truly heal you. These resonant frequencies are no joke. They really are like the medicine of the future. And so that's kind of my pitch for sound frequency healing. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video. And please like and subscribe. Sign up for my 40 Days to Wellness program on my website. I would love to coach you and work with you. And I am here for you. And keep tuning in. And I will talk to you later. Have a great day, my friend.